Kia ora team, George here from Touch NZ. Now we all enjoy a bit of touch, but without a proper warm-up, the chances of being injured are massively increased. So to keep you on the field and out of the emergency room, Touch NZ have made a short and easy warm-up series for all levels, proven to lower the chance of injury by close to 50%. So head on over to our site and check them out. Play safe, play smart.
Well done team, keep it going. Keep it going. Good work. Yes, good side step. Excellent. Working forward. Well done. Well done team, good. For Bunnings Homegrown Heroes, but mahi never stops. Thanks mate. Okay team, come on in, let's go. Let's huddle up. Bring it in guys. Nominate your homegrown hero today. 1, 2, 3, 3!
Sport. What does it mean to us? For some, it's potential, a promise that we could be better, that the early mornings will be worth it, that we could be champions.
It starts with touch.
This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.
Tēnā rā koutou, katoa nau mai ki tēnei o ngā kēmu ko te tau ihu o te waka o te rā me murihuku. It is the open mixed grade for the 2023 Bunnings Warehouse National Touch Championships. Nelson taking on Southland. My name is Hikapene. At the moment I'm doing it riding solo, but the brothers there, Maya and Rod, have been just doing fantastic work all day, so I've come in for a quick sub. And I hear they're doing an outstanding job. We have some adjudicators out on the field. I can see young Caitlin there, but here we have Nelson. We have number 1, Patterson, Sproul, Wilkins, and also Jackson, Taikato, Anderson, Ben Anderson, and Simon Anderson, the 3 Anderson brothers. Stringer, Miller, Leaf, Lotz, Sultan, Smith, Holly Johnson. She's been around for a while, also been in the youth system. Matthews, and rounding off your Nelson team is Patrick Miller-Leaf. The coaching staff, a big shout out to Wayno Anderson, Megan, and also Jima Taikato, the hard-working manager. Here is Southland, Mackenzie, Scott Eads in the house, Saunders, Brad Koeman, who's been in between Otago and Southland, pretty handy rugby player. Also Cooch Powell, Templeton. We've got Nick there, Erland and Grayson Henry, bit of a whānau combo there. Coming down we have Brian Ngātapu, Fisher Body, Dennis Thompson, who's given a huge contribution to mixed touch in Southland, all the touch grades. The assistant coach is Jordan and the manager is Neil Eade, and that is your open mixed Southland team. It's going to be a battle of the south there, Maya, the top taking on the bottom.
Kia ora hika, sorry about that, nature calls, and unfortunately there's not many private trees around here, so yep, huge battle on our hands here. Nelson, still got really bad memories from up at Rotorua. We played them in the last game of the round robin, and then they turned up for the semi-final, and they absolutely put it to us. So 2 very, very much mixed type regions here, Hika. I'm really looking forward to the match.
Yeah, and Rod, you know, you see a lot of familiar names that have come through our systems. It's awesome to see them still up here competing there, Rod.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, you look at the Southland crew, and they really do understand, you know, mixed touch. So, you know, Dennis, he drills them well. And obviously Nelson, and as Maya said, another good mixed province. So it'll be interesting to see how things go here.
Yeah, guess Rico on the top, coming around number 4, Koeman. Watch out for Brad Koeman, number 4 for Southland. I watched them this morning, very handy. Others in really, really good shape. I think he brought the gun show from Southland up with him too, so that's always handy. But there's Big Ben Anderson coming around in the sweep, number 7. is another one of his brothers, so there's 3 of them coming through, and up the field we've got Timmy Sultan, so they'll do the stuff I think pretty well there, Maya, just complete their set to 6.
Yeah, that's what they're really good at, but what I must say is this end of the field, the attack, they were just so sharp, and as we see them here, got through, touch or touchdown. I think we're going to go back for the touch.
Great touch. Is that the winger, outside winger there? Great touch there, nice work. But you're right, they just seem to have a lot up their sleeve. Nice late switch. Should have killed those holes, doubled off through the hands, and touchdown in the corner to Jesse Matthews. And just as Maya said it, you know, they're quite mixed specialists up there, Nelson. Those Anderson brothers, coached well by their dad, Wayno. He's played, I think, for every grade you can think of, opens, 30s, 40s, 45s, and he's breeding them well. But through the hands, this is a nice skill set to finish also, Rod. Draw past 2-on-1.
Yeah, it's the simple stuff, and when it's done well, there's no better way to do it, and there's no need to go to the fancy stuff. A lot of the times, you know, the goal is there, just getting through the basics.
Yeah, 14's on the ball. Just try to sneak one through there. Lockie. He's been very consistent through the youth team as part of that Southland team. That's a very good 18 mixed team coming through the program. But here we go, back to work there. Coop 5 coming through. There's not much downtime here off the ball.
I was just about to say that after the replay of that touchdown. Nelson are always at you. You never get a chance to take a breath. They go at you on the right-hand side, you think, sweet, we stopped it, and again, you're just straight into it. So you always got to be focused when you're defending against this Nelson team, because they just never give you a moment to take your foot off the pedal.
And that's a good defensive set there from Southland. They just need to complete their sets here. This is the area we can't afford to be clunky or downtime. You just start losing momentum, don't you, Rod?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm impressed with the accuracy of both sides at the moment. You know, there's no rush about what they're doing. But they are certain about ensuring that their exit is a quality exit.
Now, downtime, it's so important, isn't it, Rod? For those viewers that are new to our code, what are we talking about when we talk about downtime?
Yeah, it's just at the ruck, and we always talk about controlling the ruck, but as soon as the ball hits the ground, we want to get that ball up off the ground and into play and in action as quickly as we can. And if we can achieve that, you know, we're keeping defenders on their heels as we see a pick run through. Nice work there from number 9 there, Simon Anderson. Well, it's the family is at it again.
Yeah, I think they had a bet before they went out there. But here he goes. It just speed to burn, but just fully stretched, just missed. Great commitment there by the Southland defender, but he's nice, calm. It takes his time, and then there's a touchdown there for Max Patterson, and that takes it out to a 2-0 score. But yeah, they're really in sync early on this one, Nelson.
Yeah, and like I said, just always at you. Always think, oh, you know, as the game goes on, they'll start to slow down, but they just don't. So it's not just that they're super fit; they're super well drilled, and everyone knows what they're up to, and they just never have a lull. As we see Southland get a 6 again here. Much better attack, probably their best attack of the game. I know we're only early into the first half, but much more threatening with this attack. And the only way, really, I think, to slow Nelson down is to get touchdowns on them. Yeah,
well, Koeman with the ball here, Brad. Yeah, he's definitely going to be one to watch. He's a player that's come through, like I say. He brought the gun show with him also. But seen him come through the youth systems. Really, really, really good kid. And, yeah, he's a strike weapon. So this is just a bit of speed, just sort of kicks out on the outside, squares him up, and then gone. And they probably show him just no communication, I think, between the 2 defenders, and he just waltzes over. But you called it, Maya. They need to definitely stay in touch with this Nelson team on the scoreboard.
Yep, Nelson will be really disappointing with that. There was literally nothing on there. It was hard to explain, actually, as to how that got through. But 2-1, that's all that matters. No pitches on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they call those the tickle bum ones down home. You know, when no one talks. Yeah, unfortunately, you end up scoring. So Dennis won't be happy. Wayno will not be happy, but they're straight back at it. Taking control of the tempo here, Rod.
Yeah, still moving the threes around, you know, so very good movement from and that's what happens. Keep moving them laterally, and eventually a hole will open up. And it's the simple things done well that gets the results.
Had a debrief with the team after we unfortunately got a whopping from them in the semi-final, and I took them like, what was it about it? And everyone was involved at all times on defence. You know, when the ball's over on the left-hand side, the right-hand side link isn't having a rest, because they're always engaging. They've got people running into holes and running into channels and always on the right angles. And they're really, really impressive, and I think they're going to be one of the teams to beat Hicks.
Well, I think, if you watch, they don't call plays, that everyone just knows what's happening, like you say. Yeah, everyone's just, it's almost like they play what's in front of them, but I mean, these three Anderson brothers, that one picks up here, it looks like Taikat's all there. Oh, Wilkins, yeah, they just seem to have players that can do it all, right through the whole team.
Yep. As we see Southland working themselves away.
But it's definitely early days as they come through the field. But this stuff, if they can really tune this out and move this Nelson defence across, like, that's great. They've got two defenders up on that fifth and final. That's good work from Nelson. Here comes Brad. He's the one we talked about earlier on, and he could definitely make something. Probably just, maybe get defined channels for the players on the outside to run those attacking lines, right?
Yeah, maybe a little bit more of assistance from his support players as well, just to, to allow him to create a little bit more. So as we see Nelson pulling through the field.
And that's the first set that they haven't got over halfway, Nelson. And these can be quite, if Southland score, this is what brings your confidence up, on the back end. You've got another shot at it. So hopefully Brad Koeman, number 4, hopefully stays out on the field, because he's the hot hand at the moment.
Yep, for sure. Southland want to score here, 2-3. Probably would be a little bit flattering on the scoreboard with how dominant Nelson have been, but trying to get it right here as they run in for the 32 pick.
Yes. Good read from the winger.
Too much engagement, do you think, Hicks, with those defenders there from the number 4 from?
Yeah, well, he's still just trying to get that, manipulate that right play. There we go. He's probably looking for a 32 platform, might want an out ball here. Oh, look, going to run a little peel. Use his feet, just going to try and, was that see, he's got an array of skills there. That was the over hook, as we'll call it, but he's definitely the hot hand, isn't he?
Yeah, totally, and it's probably more the foot speed as opposed to other things, but it gets in around the defender. You wonder how that happens sometimes. The curl wing from Nelson unfortunately couldn't quite get there, and great line run there from the number 14 from Southland, Rocky Erland.
Well, they forced the error, and they were good enough to put a touchdown on. So here we go. They've brought it back within 1, and I think if they can stay with Nelson right to half time, they'll be a lot chirpier. Here's this little inside ball over the top. Great finish.
Yep. So the sideline referee's probably going to say all clear, I imagine. He's probably saying that the winger was offside. No, he's saying the exact opposite of what I just said he was saying.
It's so hard to read body language from referees.
Well, it's amazing because a lot of players used to think the same when I used to make calls as well, the exact opposite. But as we see a turnover here from Southland, so let's see how they bring themselves through the field.
I don't know, Peter Mack was in the commentary with us, Hicker, but good to hear his comments, sir.
Who let him in here? But there you go. Momentum's with Southland, but this is the stuff. This is the clunky stuff. They've got to get rid of the downtime, get the subs on early. And we talked about it yesterday. Sometimes we go and find the touch, and there's one up there and we go. It'd be good to see them move that ball, the point of difference in the attack. Nice clean platform. Just need good. Oh, yeah, that's better. Draw pass. That's way better.
The big difference for me is you've seen Scotty Eadie come on the third touch, and he was really direct with his team. So it wasn't just an ad-lib play. He knew who he wanted to go, where he wanted to, and he set it up himself. As we see here, Scotty Eade on the ball, beats the defender, gets the right option out the back, and it's just simple speed and 2-on-1 and hard job for the winger. Yeah, Scotty Eade, and for Southland, that's what it needs to be. Someone like him who's just a superstar. He always was, he still is. Just that direction for the Southland team to get across the line.
Yeah, they isoed that winger, didn't they? So that's good work there. And another error. So just the things they've done so well in the first sort of 8 minutes are now, unfortunately, undoing their good work. But there's plenty of time in this one.
Yep, 3 messy sets there for Nelson, and a couple, as you refer them to, tickle bomb tries, but hey, like I said, no pitches on the scorecard. Southland back into it, and they'll take a lot out of that in terms of energy-wise.
And here is again Brad Koeman, just getting a nice solid plant, splits open side. Is he going to utilise? Just needs, great, and there's that great, Rod called it earlier, just those better assistance off the ball, but I think, was a pass? Did we get a call there?
I think it must have been a forward pass. It's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, but that aside, the attacking platform and the assist lines are looking way sharp, aren't they?
Yeah, the supporters are starting to do their thing and allowing the controllers to operate. So they're doing a very good job there. You know, before they had an out, this time they had a chop. As we see a tearaway down the sideline, he's got the gas. Ooh.
Hadn't seen one of those. Was it a snake play or something that Reece was calling it earlier, where you snake one down the sideline? But seen a number of those down at the Youth Nationals in Christchurch. But
I think the difference here was that he actually didn't pass it to that. It's that fading subbing play. You normally sneak it off or they come on. He actually gets it, fades across the body of that link and just guns it. So Big Brother goes down this Big Ben, and he fades off his right foot and just slides down that sideline.
There's just no room. I'm not sure how he could do that.
And compliments also to Nick, number 8 for Southland, who kept him honest. But, just like that, Nelson can just pull something up the bag.
Yeah, again, it's that speed. They've just got incredible foot speed. As we see here, got away on there. Probably didn't mess that ruck up too badly. Nelson working it away. This is where they're really, really strong here on this touch. And what have we got here? Full pass off the ruck, is it? It looks like it might have been okay. Off the mark?
Off the mark. That was the hand signal, Mauri?
Well, I'm going to have to go talk to the referee at halftime. He's killing me in the subwise. Make it a little bit clearer for me, mate. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to say anything.
Could you tell me what level's out there at the moment?
Yeah, just the top level, like always. Nice. You put the best team on the live streams, and so you do with the refs. So
cool. So here's Scotty, and it's a good combination here with Scotty, James Natapu. These two have got, he looks still youthful, eh?
Almost the identical play to the last touchdown and the same result. Again, Scotty E taking that leadership, telling them where he wants to go. It literally looked like the same play. I'm wondering if this is a replay of the try before. Picks it up, goes left, steps back to his right, throws a flat bullet across the front of the Nelson defence, as we see here. It's a simple pick, comes out to the left, steps off his left, back to his right, bullet across the front, out to the back player, and just gets on the outside of that link defender. Probably not enough comms hicker with the winger to hit.
Yeah, she could have even just lifted, and then she could have taken a bit of time for her inside. But man, old Nick Saunders, he's got some speed.
Yeah, I think the key to that one there with is just how quickly he reverses that ball back. Like it's definitely an early release. And obviously the outsides are well aware of it and receiving on the out. So it's the speed of the release that's undoing them.
Yeah, but what a good tussle this one. I mean, the big players in both teams are stepping up, aren't they, and shining at the moment.
Yep, we didn't say Scotty Eads' name too much in the first 5 minutes, and Nelson sort of crept out. It looked actually quite ominous for the Southland team how dominant Nelson were. A couple of those tickle bomb tries, and then this man here setting up the first two. They must be scared to touch him with those big guns because he seems to slice through pretty easy.
Yeah, he's got really good balance too, Brad. You know, he's nice and calm. Well, that's unfortunate on that play there. Like, a bit disappointing on the back end. But, I mean, look at this. They're shifting the ball with a lot of confidence. And they'll ruck down this subbing pattern there. I think they get some good legs on just on halfway, so that's 3. That's always the goal, to sort of get to halfway by 3 there, Rod.
Yeah, if you can get 3 at the halfway, 4 just on the other side of that, it allows for a good exit play off the back of it, as we see the pick through into the passive. Maybe I was expecting just a little bit of a release on that one, maybe to the winger.
Yeah, and now, Nelson, we've seen young Tony on the ball, number 2. They seem to be sharing, the good stuff.
Yep, for sure. But like you too, sorry if we just go back to that, Rod, I thought he could have, that winger seemed committed very early, the defensive winger, and could have popped it out to his winger. But yep, good to see them shifting it around their hips again. Just unlucky, a bit of a fumble in the roll ball. Scotty E, the last 2 times on the ball, set up 2 tries. Disappointed, you can see that there. He's got high standards, someone of his experience and talent.
It was actually a good touch at the ruck by young Tony, number 2. Here's Tai Kato, and they've got really good role players, Nelson. They know their role. So here we have Patrick, 18. He's a set in middle, and he won't go away from that stuff unless they run a sort of a fake play on him. Here we go. Yeah, a little bit. I think 4 minutes to go, I think both coaches wouldn't be happy with how they've completed those sets. There seem to be opportunities that they probably haven't taken.
Play through there. Probably could have sold that a little bit better, the Southland player. But disjointed. It's got to get them moving forward. Nice. Really good art. This is the 5th one. Setting up for the pick on the last. See the 15 here from Southland off his left foot. Again, out the back. It seems to be what they do on the end of the pick. It's never to the planting player, but always sort of out the back, like a half passer for the most. I'm not even sure if that's something. Well, sort of was going to ask you earlier, is like, I've seen a lot, and I don't know if it's just because I'm sitting here watching so much touch, but a lot of people seem to plant the ball before they either have been touched or made the touch. Is that something that has been practiced?
Definitely. I remember the first time I saw it was at an international. And I won't name who was playing who, but it was done. It was done fast, but you could actually still see the plant in the touch, and we were like, "Wow, what's happening?"
And is that to stop you being disrupted? So, how they used to talk about beating them to the bin. Like, I mean, if you've already beat down and planted it, you can't get pushed off the ball.
You'll generally see it on a front-on touch. When there's a body in front of you. When you're beaten a defender to the side, there's no need for you.
Yep.
And you're exposed, I think, to the referee.
Yep.
But when I'm behind and the ref can't quite, only the sideys can see you.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's way common, Rod.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that we do coach, right? So the ideal is if we can, obviously have a clean rack at the hip. But if we do get two defenders close in together, in order to tidy up that ruck, you want an early drop on it.
So you've coached something that obviously sits outside the rules with regards to an early roll ball.
I say that we walk the line.
Okay,
there's a difference in opinion.
Yeah.
I most definitely didn't say I coached that. But here we go, big bad Ben Anderson gets on the pick on the back end, and yeah, another great finish. I'll tell you what, they don't bomb too many, Nelson, do they? They're very good finishers.
Yeah, definitely. Again, their success rate in terms of the accuracy is just super high, one of the highest teams, but just at you all the time. Good to see them hit back there. Been a bit of a lull for them on attack, so it's really good to see that whatever's coming out of the box is the focus is back there. But again, Scotty on. I wouldn't be surprised if I hope there's a change up. It's probably going to be a pick to the left, step off the left. Oh, we have a sweeper play here, so chucking a bit of variation in. But again, going to the left-hand side.
Great defence from Nelson. They got that open side link to step up and man Scotty on that, so everyone open side was on a man. So they've obviously talked about different pitches defensively. This Nelson team, they're going to go deep into the final series, I think, come Sunday.
Southland, mostly attack to the right. I imagine that's because the two defensive female players are on that side.
Yep, that's definitely where they're placing them. And I think, for some, there was a time when people say that force teams to throw left to right because that's a weak side. That's not Scotty Heed's weak side. But it's working. It's working for Nelson. Now they're trying to make link touches where they can man open side. It's another great touch.
Yep.
Front on touch.
And
that's where you'll see that early dump. It's those ones when they beat you to that bend.
Yep.
That's definitely what I remember seeing at an international level the first time I saw it. And it's only front on. I thought, wow, it's quite clever if you get away with it. But,
absolutely.
It's as you say, it's not within the rules.
I thought I seen it yesterday, and then I seen it a couple more times in the afternoon. I've seen it a heap today, and I thought there's got to be something to this, and it's definitely smart. And if you're not going to get caught, as Richie McCall would probably say.
Thanks for bringing that to everyone's attention. I guess all the referees will be on the lookout for it now, so no doubt we'll have to come up with something else. Okay, put them in the dream books and see what else we can come up with. But I think in this half, both coaches may be disappointed just at the number of incomplete sets in and around the orange zone. They seem quite comfortable once they get down in the green zone to attack. So let's see if they tidy that up in the second half.
Yeah, well, I think if you look at it, both teams have had the sort of same amount of opportunities. Nelson have just nailed five of these. So, I mean, there's really still nothing in this game. It's just what change-ups are they going to make? And it's definitely got to be defensively. Like, they're just letting Ben and run a roost, just touch corner, open side. Like, we've just got to work a bit harder. Every time, I've never heard anyone call Ben's name. They've just let him pick and go for it. So I'd definitely be sending the message out to not put a hit on Ben, but definitely call his name early so everyone can get stable out of touches. But there we have Nelson leads Southland 6-4, half-time.
Well done, team. Keep it going. Keep it going. Good work. Yes, good side step. Excellent. Working forward. Well done. Well done, team. Good. For Bunnings Homegrown Heroes, but mahi never stops. Thanks, mate. Okay, team, come on in. Let's go. Let's huddle up. Bring it in, guys. Nominate your homegrown hero today. 1, 2, 3, 3.
Sport. What does it mean to us? For some, it's potential, a promise that we could be better, that the early mornings will be worth it, that we could be champions.
It starts with touch.
Kia ora team, George here from Touch NZ. Now we all enjoy a bit of touch, but without a proper warm-up, the chances of being injured are massively increased. So to keep you on the field and out of the emergency room, Touch NZ have made a short and easy warm-up series for all levels, proven to lower the chance of injury by close to 50%. So head on over to our site and check them out. Play safe, play smart.
This is the second half. We have the mixed game. It is Nelson taking on Southland, and Nelson lead 6-4. Now, if you didn't know some fun facts, there's a total of 82 teams here, 46 Masters teams, 36 Opens teams, and there's around 114 refs. We have a couple of international refs here. Do you know where they're from, Maya?
Yep, so we've got 2 international referees that I know. One from Australia. Name just slips my head.
Sure.
Was on our first live stream game yesterday, and then we got also Rachel Atkins from the UK. So she landed here, her and her husband, great guy, landed here on Saturday and over in Aotearoa for a month. So they love the country. They see the people are amazing. So it's awesome to see they're having a good time here.
Awesome, and just a big shout out to our principal sponsor, Bunnings Warehouse. Now here we have the second half, and it looks like I think Nelson may have get the ball for the tap here. It looks like the cameraman might be from Nelson. We're just getting Nelson camera shots. So shout out to the cameraman from Nelson. There we go, Nelson on the tap off, number 2. He got on the ball a little bit there, Tony Sproul. Demi's been on the ball. It's good to see Demi. She's obviously won. There he comes young Tai Kato off the ball. Oh, run this little fake through the hands. Oh, just execution. Really like the tap off setup, Rod.
Yeah, just simple things again. You know, and they are doing them well. So you know, I expect to see a lot more of that from them as we move through this game.
And I've liked the look of just with the Southland team. Yeah, I think we've got a squirrel up in one of those trees. Just with that laugh, that definitely sounds like a.
It actually sounded like a familiar laugh.
Who? Do you know who?
No, I couldn't quite catch it. His name was on the end of my tongue.
Oh, his. Back at it though, back at it, and we just want a big shout out to our cameraman, Chucky, and the whole team here. Like, it was overcast this morning, and now it's definitely the temperature's picked up, hasn't it, Rod? It's feeling a bit like Whakatane.
Well, it is. Maybe not this summer, but usually Whakatane is a hothouse, and it's no different here today. That sun's come out, and it really is baking.
Great touch. We've just got some end-to-end touch to start this one on. I was just seeing young 15 Rico. He's in the youth program. Young man here coming through. Good young rugby player also out of Southland. Now this is where there's that squirrel again. Now someone's playing a trick on us. I definitely think someone's playing a trick on us. I've never heard that in all the years I've been doing commentary. And we've got a squirrel in a wire there, Chucky. You better find it, buddy. So our director's going out to find the squirrel. It does sound like someone that we've heard at a party before, actually. But we cannot say names. But here we go. We're professionals. Nelson leads Southland 6-4. It is the second half. This is the 2023 Bunnings Warehouse Touch National Championship. We're back in Te Papaioia, Rangitane land, and it's a beautiful day here in the Manawatu. Yeah, just taking his time here. Simon Anderson here, number 9. Role player there, 18, with a nice plant. Patrick, good touch. Yeah, good to see. Good to see the young Lockie stepped up into that space, and that's back-to-back sets that they've helped them out there, Rod.
Yeah, I thought it was quite nice work there. Offensively, he thought he was going to go through, but the defender didn't need to bite too early. Held off and just made it when he needed to. So it was great work from himself on there. We see them pulling through the field now.
He's Scotty, tandem with his combination, James. He's handy. This fella just gets a nice strong plant through the ball. Scotty just, man, he had a few options here, Scotty.
Yeah. He probably didn't need to pass it either. He probably could have ran along the back of the end goal for a little while there, but that was a gorgeous pass, just unfortunately couldn't be caught. I actually feel a little bit sorry sorry, I'm not sure it's the right term, but Southland, they got themselves back in there at 4-4, and just in the end of that first half, Nelson crept away again and sort of took all the air out of, I guess, the momentum that Southland had going for them.
But they just showed there, as they sub, the Gill just fades to the box, the guy comes on, like everyone's just really in sync with each other, going to score in this right-hand corner. Those little things could come back to bite you through the tournaments. Like, you want to finish, those ones that seem quite easy.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen that in the previous game when the Counties team, they're up by 2 and didn't finish a couple of those tries that they could have got. Then Waikato steamed over the top of them. And again, if you had those 2 tries that were right there, then the game would have been home and hosed.
Yeah, that's exactly right. From a coaching perspective, as much as I guess the ones that you do score are important, just as important are the ones that you miss, right? And how you do that. Because when it gets to the business end of this competition, you need them every time.
Yeah, and sometimes players, they hold on to things if those things don't go their way. So I'm sure they'll talk about just those 1%ers. But here we've got Brad Koeman on the ball. There's young Rico there. Yeah, he's got a lot of time on him, hasn't he, Brad? He doesn't engage at big speed, but he really puts the defence in 2 minds.
That's what we needed there, Hicka. Southland getting back within 1, just to bring that, that intensity, that energy for Southland as we see the replay. That's number 15 for Southland as you're talking an up-and-comer in the age group teams. And our man with the big guns just holds that middle defender in.
Should we call him B-Gun? I'm sure he'll like that.
I'm not going to call him anything. Okay. He might knock on the 10.
Okay. I actually know him quite well. Just released.
Yeah, no, it is good to see the fact that he's willing to just take his time on it, and even if he does hold, he's waiting for the defence to make some type of reaction. So smart player.
Well, we always talk about those players that just seem to have so much time, and he's one. Demi, man, I've been impressed with Demi. She's been a tireless worker throughout the game, doing those roles, those big roles of that player, in the ruck defensively, and now she touches down, so having quite a complete performance.
Yeah, great try. I thought it was an easy touch here, but actually great manipulation of her body, upper half and lower half in different shapes, gets in there for the easy touchdown.
Demi's on the touchboard, on the scoreboard there, 7-5. Yeah, Southland, they've got plenty of firepower. Scotty's back out there. He would have, his strike rate's been quite high, and as we know, he's a professional rugby player. Just that little bobble. Unfortunate there.
Yeah, you got to expect that to have that type of touch on the 7 as well. So probably no excuse there from the Southland player. You got to expect that there's going to be a competitive touch, as you call them, Rod, coming in there.
Yeah, and here's the Nelson players there. We've got Michelle, all their ladies are definitely in sync. And, we played 9 and 5, so 9 males, 5 ladies. So, there's a lot of work going through. But look at that little loopy pass from Simon. I think it was Simon Anderson. But those are those killer opportunities. I reckon the good teams, they just nail those. It still seems a bit just easy going. And it's probably it sort of is that DNA of Nelson. They're quite a sort of easygoing team, in their style.
See the Southland crew working their way away. Much better yards. Stronger in the touch there, Rod.
Yeah. There's, it's certainly an interesting game at the moment.
Forward pass, it looks like.
Those are those ones we were talking about in the first half, just about owning and the middle ground. giving yourself the opportunities once you get down into the green. So they'll be a bit disappointed at that. So they need to defend hard here and get this ball back.
Yeah. So here's Demi. So this stuff here, this is onto it. It gives time. On come the fresh legs. There's no downtime. It's a sign of a group of people that have been together a long time when they can just fade to a box. So, if they can put a 20-minute performance each half, Nelson, they will go deep into the series. Obviously, Auckland, going for their 8th gold medal. They've got the big target on their back that they've had for the last 8 years. We've got some interesting experienced players playing in the counties, open mixed, along with Manawa too. So, this mixed grade. And Otago would like to just stay out of everyone's lips. They'd just like to chip away. So there's going to be, come Sunday morning, we'll soon see who the top 4 are. But here's Southland, got a pick on the back end, coming through. Early late cut there, player offside on the... Yeah, just made it there, Max, onside, Mai.
Yeah, good call from the referee, in the right position. I see you and Rod drink from the same cup of the sit-on fence juice. You pretty much named every single team in the mixed grade to probably make the final and win the competition.
Yeah, no, I missed a few out. I didn't name them all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I won't ask.
Yeah, I'll give it actually. Yeah, North Harbour, I don't think I mentioned North Harbour. Kapiti Hortofino's got 2 teams. Thames Valley, and they're going well, Maya, this morning.
Yeah, hadn't had a chance to get across to see them since this morning games. But you bring up Kapiti Hortofino and 2 teams. That's pretty awesome to have 2 teams from a town that's not got a heap of people in it.
Yeah, definitely. Always had we had a patch there where mix was were pretty strong, and then it was great that the men formed the men's team, and now we've had actually some Wellington players come up along with the coach Pania. They come up in the youth grade and done well in the youth and have continued, and now the locals have got a team too. So I've never seen it in all my time that we've had 2 teams in the 1 grade, but it's just awesome that we've got a pathway for the players younger than them. So we're just stoked to still be there.
Once again, unfortunately, Southland, when it really matters on that last touch as they're setting up to have an attack, just not being strong enough in the ruck, and good touching there from the Nelson team.
Yeah, and I know I called up my good mate Dennis, and they just picked a couple up last week out of Queenstown, and they haven't been able to train it. No excuses, but I guess you could probably see the difference in the synergy between the 2 teams. Nelson's been together a long time, but what I like is the scoreboard does say how good these 2 coaches are, from both teams, and just how they are really specialist mixed. There goes Big Ben Anderson. Good touch there. I've really liked the look of our man there on defence. I'll get the number there, just off screen. I think it might be Nick from Southland.
Oh, did she get it off in time? Doesn't seem like it. Tell you what, the Anderson whānau, no one's obviously at home. Megan's the manager, Wayne's the coach, and the 3 boys are in the team.
Yep.
I'm not sure who's feeding the fish and looking after the dog.
Oh, Wayne's a legend, the dad. He's a real legend. Been around a long time and still giving back. He's still in great nick. Oh, look at the speed. Here he goes. He's just like that, I think I might scoop 30 out. I see we're down by a couple. I think I might get us one back.
Sometimes I think that's probably something that should be done more, because the defence aren't expecting it. They're pretty much cocked off until they're going to get back into the 7 metre zone. But so, as you see there, probably not working as hard to get onside as he should. And great call from the referee. Never got onside, played through. And again, here's the gun show off to the winger.
But you said it, no one's really expecting anyone to scoop. But because we've talked about Brad Koeman the whole game, when he's out there, you've definitely got to keep an eye on him. A lot like the Anderson boys. Like this one, good touch. She stepped off the line. That was a very good touch there by Briar McKenzie. Those ones, man, if they can keep them out, then score again, that's like you said yesterday, that's just as important. Sometimes even more than scoring is stopping momentum. Oh, what a pass over the top.
Beautiful right to left pass.
Nice finish also there by Michelle Miller-Leaf. Just go about their business, these are young ladies in both teams. So is this one of the Andersons? Comes off. Sweeps? No, that's not what. Oh, just got to look there. But, over the top in this top left-hand corner by the looks, and touchdown.
You'd be pretty safe to call him Anderson in the team there, Hicks. So.
We'll call him Ando, and then we'll be pretty close. But gee, you're right, Ray. But here we go. Scott Eads back out there. Number 3, I've been impressed with Nick Saunders. This guy here's been worked tirelessly. And also the combination, James Ngātapu, he's had a nice setting role. There's Scotty coming around. Just that little follow. Yeah, they released really well. And
fortunately, both Southland players end up in the same channel there. Scotty Eade probably wanted that to happen the touch before. He gave the number 3 a bit of a glare on that, and they set it up again. But it could have worked, but unfortunately just going into the same channel.
Nice. Courtney Lott there at half.
This Nelson team just straight into them. Just get finished reviewing the last play from Southland. They're already well and truly over the halfway line as we see a huge left to right pass. Didn't even look. There is no way he looked. He just threw it, had it on a string, knew his winner was going to be there, as we see in the replay here, Rod.
Yeah, well, looks like they can chuck both ways without any issue. So they've certainly got the exponents to please themselves. But what I like is they're bringing the ball through the field nice and clean, which is giving them plenty of opportunity down the offensive end to pull those plays off.
And just shout out to Stringer too. He set that ruck really clean platform and a great finish on the far side there. So here we go back at it. Here comes Brad over the top. Good, very nice work by the wingers. He just touched down before and then coming on a shut there. You got one more up the sleeve there, Rod. Just controlling tempo here, Brad. Yeah, reverse quickie. Oh, forward pass off the ruck.
Hick being the head coach of the New Zealand Open mixed team, you'd obviously want this grade to be as competitive as it can be. Has it stepped up from previous years, or is it still around the same level in terms of the touch?
I think it has. I think there's probably wider who can take it out now. There's a few more teams. I think in the past, like it was whoever could beat Auckland. And Louis, he's got a bit of a niggle, Louis. I understand he's not playing at the moment. He's just, man, that guy's, he's almost got a mortgage on this grade. So that also, without Louis playing in the rounds, that's opened it up even more. But I think there's about probably 5 teams that could get there, whereas in the past I think it's whoever can beat Auckland. It was all about beating Auckland. I mean, Maiu's come very, very close, Thames Valley there, but it was always going to be who's going to beat Auckland. So I think that's probably where I wouldn't say that Auckland aren't good, but I think there's probably more teams that can have a real crack at it this year. Hopefully I answered your question.
Thoughts on the try we just saw there, Rod?
Yeah, Nelson starting to assert their dominance a little bit now and just giving the ball some air, shifting the ball laterally and, just waiting for the defences to come in. So they are they really do look like they're enjoying themselves now with their touch and their ball movement. There's
been a couple of games on the live stream where I felt that the teams got out to an early lead and almost got complacent, I'd say. They've taken the foot off the throat. They thought, this has come easy. We're up 3-0 straight away. And I think that what happened with Nelson, because there was a lull in there and then Southland, perfect timing, come back at them. But the focus and the direct yards, not quite like this, probably a little bit stronger than the set has been for Nelson. They're just back up to their A game what they were in the first few minutes.
Yeah, I think it's trying to maintain that focus for the full 20-minute half each time. It's quite a difficult thing when you're at this level, and a lot of the times it's quite easy for the focus to drop off a little bit.
Yeah, and I wonder too, both these provinces wouldn't really be conditioned to playing 3 games like this at the moment. I think probably only Ben is the only one I can see that's come through PTO. He was with the Stingrays. He's in the Touchbacks program. He played in the Kiowa tournament. And probably everyone else hasn't been exposed to that stuff. So conditioning's a big thing, isn't it, coming into these tournaments when you're not used to playing 3 big games on day one. But they're going to be better for the experience.
That right-hand side's getting a peppering now, Rod. That's the 3rd try in a row. Pretty much the same play, the set-up for the big left to right long ball.
Yeah, they've obviously identified the wingers tight, and hopefully Southland can identify it as well and just loosen off a bit. So they pull one back there, just a nice little follow play. So
stoked for Nick. He's worked tirelessly, number 3 for Southland. This is a nice play. Scotty Eade again. Little quickie crossover there. Come through. And it's a bit of a step back outside, and there's just that little lapse between, looks like outside link and middle, which is I think for Wayno it's going to be good. Anything he can work on defensively moving forward is going to be good for him.
And let's see if Nelson bring it back to this left side and go for the left to right long pass again. It's worked for them now. There's certainly no reason for them to change it, I guess, and have another crack at it late in the set.
Here's Jackson Taikato. Been around a while, Jackson. Very handy. Very handy. And Mum, Gemma's the manager. Managed some of our youth teams, New Zealand teams. Lovely lady. So big shout out to the Taikato whānau. There goes Stinger. Looks like a little left foot there. Oh, drawn past to the... Yeah. But Stinger's just been a role player. Then he gets the ball on the fifth whack. Just a nice little left foot there, Maya. We'd all wish we had that sneaky little left foot, eh?
It looks like he's wishing he didn't. He's cramping up in his left leg.
I didn't see that. We won't talk about that part.
2 minutes to go. The result's well and truly done. Good to see Nelson, I think, getting back to their standards. I think their first 5 minutes and this last 10 minutes, has been really, really good. As we see again there, that key player.
Demi, she's had a good game, Demi. That link roll, all positions are, tough, but that lady link in the mixed game these days, I think she's owned it today.
Oh, shifting now, right to left. Good drawn pass. Great hold by the winger there for Nelson. Fortunately, Southland just clocked off there. There's really nothing on. It was the fifth touch.
Miller Leaf, great finishing this game, and she touched down again. So it looks like there wasn't much happening, really. But Fivey just throws one out of here. Connor Wilkins just fades on the outside. Nice drawn pass. Touchdown in the corner. That'll be a great way for Nelson to finish off this one. But Southland, they've still got time to get one more on the scoreboard. He's Lockie. He's getting the ball. Missed that call.
It's probably either going to be off the mark or forward pass off the ruck. Seeing where the penalty is, I'm guessing it's definitely been a forward pass off the ruck. Just couldn't quite see the signal here. Nelson again. Wouldn't surprise me if they were to finish this game off with another touchdown.
Stinger, he's had a good game. Stringer.
Get back to the middle. I'd love to see this left to right pass it. They've been really good at executing over the last 3 or 4 touchdowns. No, not the way this one's going.
Just reloading here. Through the hands. Good shot there.
Forward pass.
That's good work from the Southland winger. She was the last one to have effect on that play. And there we have it. There we have it. Nelson take this one out in the Open Mixed Grade. Day 1, 12-7 over Southland.
This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.